What's going on, y'all? About to send this link out, then we'll go ahead and get started. Give me 1 second. All right, bam. All right, what's going on, y'all? So it's been very choppy. Yesterday was extremely choppy as well. But we're going to see if we can jump into some setups. All right, so we're going to be looking at possible EJ buys. Just want to see if we can retrace a little bit more. Yeah, I just need to retrace a little bit more. But we're going to be looking at EJ buys. We're going to be looking at GA sells still. So we're going to see if price can break that level. Let's see what else going on. What's going on, y'all? I see y'all in here. Yeah, so price is still kind of choppy and rangy right now. We do got news today, so we'll see if not London session, things pick up probably with the news later on today. All right, we got our first high impact news popping out later today at New York at 8:30. We got CPI for USD pairs. Then at 101, we got a bond auction for USD pairs. That's pretty much what's going on today. Then tomorrow, that's when we got a lot of other reports coming out. Then Friday's not too bad. But yesterday was just extremely choppy. And today is kind of like that as well so far. We're going to see if these are going to pick up. London session did just start. I want to see if it's going to retrace some. It looks like it's not. Yeah, so right now I'm waiting for price to either retrace or hit our next price level. That's what we're waiting on right now. But as you can see, it's just extremely choppy. Even with GJ, you can just see just by these wicks, it would flow. This is the 15-minute time frame. So literally, it's just been extremely choppy. But we're going to see if things are going to pick up in a little bit. So we're going to be looking for JPY buys still. We're going to be looking for New Zealand and AUD pair sells. And by New Zealand and AUD pairs, I mean if New Zealand and AUD are the second currency pair. We're going to be looking for sells on those pairs. That's going to be the game plan there. And so right now we see price doing some retracements. So we're going to let price do retracements. Yeah, just very choppy right now. But we do see some volume picking up. It is the 3 o'clock candle. London did just start. So we're going to let price retrace still. We are going to look for sales on EN. We're going to look for sales on GN, sales on EA and GA. Then we're looking for buys on the JPY pairs. But if we just look at the daily time frame, it is due for a retracement. Was kind of looking for one yesterday, but we didn't really get one. We are hitting this key level of traffic here and key daily support resistance level. So a retracement is kind of to be expected. We got this first low here. We got this lower low. So we are going to be anticipating a lower high. So I am looking for sales, but I'm kind of waiting for retracement first. So that's what we're going to be looking for right there. Members, we will be going live today for the New York news, just in case we might see some news pop up during that time. But yeah, that's what we're waiting on right now. Kind of like what we were waiting on yesterday. But again, if we just look at just look at the candlesticks, like this is the 15-minute time frame. You can see for hours, price just played at this level. And then when it finally moved, it slowly, very choppily dropped down compared to what it did on Monday, which was a nice volume-filled move. And then this was Tuesday. This is all price did on Tuesday, so it didn't really go anywhere. And then, of course, this was Tokyo session last night. And then, now we're here at London session. So if you really just look, price hasn't really done much, which is why we didn't really enter many trades yesterday, right? We only entered one trade, and that was Tokyo session last night. We re-entered this trade, but this was a trade called on, Monday. So we only took one trade yesterday, but we still 4-0 for the day. But again, just look on the chart, you'll be able to see what's going on. But a lot of y'all don't be on TradingView. If y'all don't got a computer, I recommend investing in one. You don't need a fancy computer. You just need a laptop, to be honest. Using the laptop, especially when you're first getting started, you don't need a crazy setup. You just need a laptop and a mouse. Not the little mouse pad that comes with the laptop. Like, get you a separate mouse to hook up to your computer. That's all you need is a laptop and a mouse. Before I upgraded my setup, I had a super small laptop and a mouse, and I was able to trade fine. But you need to be able to have a decent sized screen. The iPad works too, but I recommend a laptop or computer. But you need a decent sized screen so you can see the bigger picture. A lot of y'all are looking at the smaller picture. Y'all just looking at this. This isn't going to tell you anything. You need to understand what's going on. You need the bigger picture. You need to look at the days, what is done for the week, what is done for the past month. All right. So that's my recommendation. That way you'll be able to see something. I get a lot of questions. People are like, what's going on with this pair? What's going on with this pair? You got to be able to look at the bigger picture. But yeah, so right now we're just waiting on retracements on this. It's kind of moving right now, so that's fine. So I would like to look for a sell at 430 or even 75, like 15-ish. But if it wants to hold this level at 73.60, we could possibly look for short-term sells. It'll just be a high-risk sell. I'd rather look for a sell at this daily level here. And I want to see at least a 50 on this imbalance get filled up. So that's kind of what we're looking at right here. Those just joined the stream. We haven't entered anything yet. We're kind of waiting for some retracements right now. And that's what we're breaking down. I'm looking at some other pairs still, but most of these pairs, we kind of need some retracements to go down. Let's see what else is going on. Let me see what else going on. NJ looks a lot cleaner actually. So I'm gonna update my level. I'm gonna put this on a smaller time frame so y'all can see this. But I'm on my other screen right now, looking at some other pairs. Like I add some new levels. So just give me 1 second. But y'all see on y'all screen how we did last week, how we're doing this week. If you want to check it out for yourselves, go ahead and hit that first link in the description. Join the free Telegram, the free signal room. We're going to go over that in just a second, but right now, just paying attention to the charts for right now. We're going to go over all that in a second. One second. All right, cool. So we might be looking at AJ too. We haven't traded AJ. Well, that's a lie. We traded AJ on Monday. Well, until this week, we haven't traded it in a while. But we might be able to see some decent setups on this. So we're gonna pull it up as well. Looks cleaner than GJ and EJ are looking right now, at least. So we might pay attention to this too. All right, cool. Yeah, so let me pull up AJ so y'all see what I'm talking about. All right, so AJ is looking like a decent entry right here. So we could possibly jump in on this. The ideal entry would be around, yeah, it's just a couple pips away from the ideal entry. It's not a terrible entry. It's got a nice rejection wick. So we're going to see how this candlestick ends. We can do a smaller stop loss. Maybe like this right here. Yeah, we could put it down here, but that's a big stop loss. Yeah, we'll do that right there. Yeah, but AJ is looking like a decent entry. New 5 minutes about to start. Those just joined the stream. We haven't entered anything yet. That might change in a little bit though. So AJ is looking decent, but so is New Zealand JPY. Also, let's look at NJ also. Actually, AJ looks a little better. Okay, AJ. So looking at it, if we zoom out, you can clearly see why we're looking for buys. But we are going to have to see if we can stay above this level and break this level, because we're above this level. Last time we went zone to zone, as you can see, huge rejection wick, price dropped. So this wick, I went over this actually with one of the members in the one-on-one session yesterday. But you guys got to understand how these candlesticks are formed. I might actually do I said I was going to. So I'm doing a trade breakdown today. That's going to be dropping later today. And then my next video, I might do an updated how to read candlesticks video. Because that's one thing that's very important. You got to understand how these candlesticks are formed. That way you can kind of help you with your projection of where price is going. All right, but this candlestick, before it was red, was a green candlestick. It came all the way up here. Then when it hit this level, it rejected and came all the way back down here. So we can see the past 2 days when price was at this level, you can see it's been struggling to break not just through this level of traffic, but hold above this level. So we're going to see if today we can make a new high, and if not, take out this wick right here. So that's going to be the goal right here. Also, if we look here, price is still gradually making higher highs, hasn't really made any lows yet. So we got to really see if we can take out this high here. If not, we could possibly see a slight reversal like we did last time price hit this level. All right, we see last time price came up and hit this level, did a little drop, tried it one more time, down trend again. And the price came back up, rejected. Now we're about to see if we can hold this level here. All right, so about to see, we're going to wait till the next 15, but if we can hold this level, we could look for a possible buy setup here. So we're going to be looking at AJ right there. We're looking at the other pairs. Now gold, I'm gonna leave alone for now because it's super choppy. I want to let it get out of this box. We did catch a nice move on it yesterday and on Monday. but it's still kind of ranging in this box. I want to see if the news today kind of help break it out of this area it's in. Keep doing that. Let me pull it up so y'all see what I'm talking about. So we call this nice move here, but it's literally just ranging. It's been ranging here really all week. So I want to see if we can break out of this level. I want to at least break back above 2040. So I still am considering buys. So I want to see a break above 2040 at least today and hold that level. Or I want to see it reject and come back down to 2005, 2006. But for now, I'm probably just going to leave it alone until it breaks one of those levels, just because it's just super choppy and rangy right now. But like I said, we're going to see what the news does for us today, because we do got news later today. We got about a minute left to the next 15. So we're going to keep AJ on the screen. I'm going to look at the other pairs on the other screen. All right. Still kind of retesting this level, chilling nicely though. So I do like this setup here. Let's go ahead and see what these other pairs are up to. We'll just join the stream. We haven't entered anything yet. This is just a trade idea. I'm gonna wait to see what the next 15 looks like. Yeah, but price is just super rangy right now. Retracements need to happen, but there's a lot of levels of traffic. I went over that with the members yesterday. There's just a lot of levels of traffic going down. I think I went over it on yesterday's live as well before we hopped off. But we got to get out of these levels before price can really get to moving again. That's kind of what we're waiting on. New 15 did just start. That candlestick was red, ended off green. Now we can the retest. So depending on how price reacts off this retest, we might jump in on this pair. So I'm going to go ahead and write up this trade idea. So I do kind of like how it's looking. Yeah, it looks like it's trying to keep pushing up. So let me write this trade idea up. So SL for this. This is kind of the same level. We actually entered this buy on Monday. So we're going to see if we can take out these highs and hit the full move. 91.20. So it's going to be 91.20. Entry's going to be 91.65. It's going to be about a 40-50 pip stop loss. Let me go ahead and post this disclaimer before we get started. And the reason why we're looking for a buy is because there's no lows being made. All the other JPY pairs are extremely bullish. We can see literally no lows are being made. It's respecting this level of support. Was expecting this low of support yesterday. It did retrace down. Nice rejection with push back up. And now it's holding this level, and it's kind of been holding this level really all session. As you can see, it's literally just been ranging here for a few hours, right? We're on the hour time frame. It's currently 3 my time, 2 o'clock, 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So literally for 8 hours it's playing at this price. That's not even including here, but it's playing at this level 8 hours, and we see here how price all this day on Monday was playing at this level. So price is extremely choppy right now. So we got to break out of these levels. That's what we're going to try to do. I'm watching this. I do got this trade idea written up. Yeah, so I'm going to jump in on this one. I'm about to post the TPs in the channel. I do two. Two flat. All right. So this is your first time on the stream. Make sure to read that disclaimer. I put it in the free signal room first link in the description. All right, so make sure to read that. That explains how the TPs work, explains how you should go about trading in general, and all that good stuff. And it might answer some of the questions you might got. But yeah, we jumped in this right here. I'm still looking at some other pairs. But again, like just like we broke down, a lot of these pairs are just choppy and rangy right now. I'm going to see if that's going to change in a little bit. Went to eviction court and lost. Now trying to master this. Then some guy tells me if I haven't mastered Forex in 2 years, it's time to quit. All right, cursor. I don't know who told you that, but it wasn't me. Ain't no cocky shit. But anyone telling you to quit, especially after 2 years, they don't know what they're talking about. That's all I'm saying. I'm actually going to keep this up here for a little bit. They don't know what they're talking about. Matter of fact, DM me on Instagram and let me know who said that. All right, because it was some random dude or it was some guru. Let me see. All right, because I'll expose them real quick. But that's completely cap. And they're saying that it's because there's this crab in the bucket mentality with traders, and it doesn't make any sense to me. Because a quick Google search, matter of fact, I'm gonna do that right now. Because a quick Google search will just tell you how much money is put into the market daily. Look at this. Forex is the largest financial market in the world, larger than even the stock market, with a daily volume, daily, not weekly, not monthly, a daily volume of 6.6 trillion. The worldwide Forex market in 2021 was worth 2.409 quadrillion. Quadrillion. You know how many commas that is? That probably won't even fit on your calculator on your phone. And I say that to say, like, it just doesn't make any sense. It's like, that's stupid, bro. And guess where most of that money's going? To that small percentage, right? It does take years. And I went over this. I don't know if I talked about this on live, but I did go over this with a one-on-one session with one of the members yesterday. I've been trading for 5 years, right? The first 3 years was inconsistent. I wasn't consistently profitable. I blew hella accounts. There was a point where I was failing multiple challenges daily. Like I'd fail a challenge, the next day buy a new challenge, fail the challenge the next day. I'd blow an account, fill it up. 2 days later, blow it again, over marginalize, blow another account. Like I was working 2 jobs. And literally majority of my money was going into, I was literally just giving away to my broker in the Forex market. I was blowing accounts after accounts. And if I would have listened to some idiot on the internet talking about, oh, well, you just blew your 20th account. Oh, you just failed your 10th prop firm challenge. You failed 3 prop firm challenges in 1 week? Is that even possible? That must be a world record. What if I would have quit? Because some idiot's like, oh, well, if you're not profitable now, some dude behind the screen that doesn't know what they're talking about, that's probably catching 5-pip moves. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the last thing you want to do is listen to some random dude, and especially when they're not giving you good advice or trying to like bring you down. Like, that's the last thing you want to do is listen to someone like that. All right. And I'm saying that just to say, what if I would have quit? It took me 4 years, well, 3 years technically, but I wasn't profitable till like halfway my third, going into my 4th year. But according to that guy, I should have quit after my 2nd year. But what if I would have quit? I wouldn't be here. You know what I'm saying? Just think about your favorite celebrity, your favorite athlete, your favorite artist, whoever you look up to. Did they quit? No. Just look at any interview, bro. Any interview with anyone successful. The last thing they're going to tell you is, oh, if you didn't see success or if you failed, give up. In fact, they might tell you the opposite. So that's where I take advice from, right? I still watch interviews to this day. But one thing I noticed is a lot of these people that are successful, they all say a lot of the same things, so just worded differently. All right. One of the things they always talk about is this didn't happen overnight, no matter what y'all think. You might have just found out about me last year or this month or when I got drafted into the NBA or NFL, but I was doing this before college. I was doing this in elementary. I was doing this in middle school. They're always going to tell you about the trials and errors and how long it took and how people don't know what they went through or what it took to get where they're at. They're always going to say that. They're never going to be like, oh, I quit. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's successful is successful because they quit. All right. So whoever told you that got a loser mentality. Keep it 100 with you. That's a loser mentality. You don't just give up. How digital currency affect the Forex market in the future? Honestly, the digital currency, that's like crypto and stuff. So that's going to be different. That's like separate from these. Like these are like, this is the Australian dollars, the Japanese yen. Like digital currency, that's like, you know what I'm saying? Like it might have some effect, but like that's a whole different thing for right now. And honestly, I don't even worry about that right now. Like you can invest in that stuff, but honestly, you got to be careful what you invest in, especially with all these coins coming out. Like especially the smaller coins, you got to do some research. Don't just invest in stuff. You know what I'm saying? You got to look at what the coin is, what the coin was made for, who made it, what it's going to be used for in the future. And then based on that stuff, you can tell if this is just some shit coin that people are trying to like, make some quick money on, like, like Doge and Shiba Inu and all that stuff. Like notice how those coins barely have gained any value. Well, I haven't looked at it in a minute, so I could be wrong. But the last time I looked at it, like it was still like barely worth shit. And it's been like years. Whereas there's other coins like Solana, I haven't traded crypto and looked at that in like 2 years. All right, so I could be off. But when I was doing all that stuff, I got in Solana and like Polygon early, and those things within weeks and a month grew in dollars, not just pennies and cents, but grew in dollars. Why? Because I did research. I saw what they were going to be used for, why they were even created. I saw who was creating it, who was behind the scenes, and all that stuff. And then I invested. So crypto's a little bit different. Like with Forex, I mean, you still got to read the charts. Like if you read the charts with the strategy, it's still going to help you, but it's a little bit different because it's not like we're day trading with that stuff. That stuff's like for long-term investments. So it's a little bit different than, if we're trying to go for a day trade or a swing trade on this. You get what I'm saying? But we're not going to really know how it's fully going to affect the markets until, it affects the markets. But I wouldn't even think about it too deep like that. Yeah, but another thing I would say is back to the trading thing. Don't put pressure on yourself. All right. When I stopped putting pressure on myself and I focused on just strictly the craft and sticking to my trading plan, that's when I started to make money. And I know that kind of sounds weird, but I made the most money trading when I wasn't concerned about trying to make money. When I was just concerned about, is this a good setup? Does this meet my rules? Is the risk reward good? Okay, bam. What lot size do I need to put? All right, this is the proper lot size for this trade. Boom, enter. I made the most money doing that. Whereas I'm like, okay, I need to make X amount of dollars. I need to make money. I need to make money. I need to make money. Oh, I'm in drawdown. I'm freaking out. Oh, I'm not blue after 2 seconds of being in a trade. Someone put a thumbs down in the channel. Oh, when you think like that, you're going to lose a lot more money than you make money. Whereas if you're focused truly on the setups, following your rules, and staying consistent with everything, you're going to make more money. All right. Like when I'm in trades, when I stop putting pressure on myself, I make more money. And I notice when I put pressure on myself, I might still make some money, but it's not as great as when I'm just chilling and not putting stress on myself. So that's another thing, because it's really a mental game. All right, it doesn't matter what strategy you have. If you don't have the discipline, the patience, don't know how to count pips, properly calculate your lot size, it doesn't really matter what strategy you use. Because again, like we went over at the beginning of this month, trading is a day by day, week by week, month by month thing, right? Some days are going to be rougher than others, but if you're consistent with the trading, you're consistent with your setups, you continue to follow your rules, you will be up in the long run, right? And literally, if you just go through the channel, first in the description, you can kind of see that, right? So we're about to scroll up. We're gonna go down memory lane. We're gonna go down memory lane. We're gonna scroll all the way up to the beginning of April, and we're gonna go literally do a rundown of how last month went, right? Literally gonna do a rundown of how last month went. All right, so it's the beginning of April. You literally see this is the first beginning of April, right? So this is how we ended March, or January, February, March. Yeah, this is how we ended March, right? Ended March 18-1 with a 94% win rate. Awesome. Boom. We started the month. Cool. Hit some TPs. Awesome. Started off great. 3-0 for the day. Right? Awesome. Second day, we catching some TPs too. Awesome. We're doing great. Right? 5-0. This is how we ended March, by the way. We ended March 59-5 with a 92% win rate. Total of 92,592 pips caught. All right, so you scroll to the fourth, click here, it'll take you to that. But we're focusing on April right now. Still looking at AJ, by the way. You should be slightly blue, but again, it's struggling to break these levels of traffic like we went over at the beginning of the stream. Price is extremely choppy right now, but that's besides the point. So you see here how we're 8-0 for the week, right? So we're up for the week. One bad trade, people upset, but it's like, again, you got to think of the bigger picture. We just won 8 trades before this one. Technically, you should have either got wicked out or been a break-even trade, but that's besides the point. And this is another pro of being in advanced play signal room, because you see here that one slight bad trade you could have got canceled out if you was in the advanced play signal room. But that's besides the point. Let's say you're just in the free signal room, right? Let's just say you're in the free signal room. So you're still up for the week because even the free selling room until Wednesday, we're still undefeated until Wednesday. So this would have been your first loss. Now look at these people. If you had this mindset after you just won 5 trades in a row, that is a problem. And this goes back to what I was just saying. It doesn't matter what strategy you have. If you don't have the correct mindset, discipline in place, you're not going to last long. Because again, if I just won 8 trades in a row and I lost 1 trade, why would I be upset? Especially if I didn't over leverage. I risked the same amount per trade, like I recommend doing every day. I post a disclaimer every day before I post the first trade. So if I'm literally risking the same amount per trade and I just won 8 trades and I lost 1 trade, am I down for the week? No, I'm still up for the week. So there's no reason to be upset because again, we think long term. We're not short term thinkers here. We got to think long term. All right. Because it doesn't matter if we win 1 trade. Can we win 10 trades? Can we win 20 trades? Can we win 30 trades? And it gets deeper than that. What's the win rate? Okay, let's go back to here. We lost only 5 trades in March and we won 59 trades. 92% win rate. Why? Because you think of the bigger picture. And also, it goes back to understanding the charts. So again, if you're not using TradingView, start using it. Trust me, I was like that at 1.2. TradingView was a big game changer for me. You need to be using TradingView so you can see the bigger picture. Because if you're just looking at this is not going to tell you anything. You need to look to the left to explain what's happening in the present and what can potentially happen in the future. Before I get sidetracked, let me look at these other pairs and see what's going on. Before I get sidetracked. All right, so GM looking nice too. We're going to go for around 3 maybe on GM, depending on how this 15 ends. And let me pull this up so y'all see what I'm talking about. And pull up the comments too. Give me 1 second. All right, so we're going to look at a potential round 3 here. We went for a nice sell on this last night. Went for another sell after re-entry, got wicked out. We can look for another potential sell, but again, this is all prices done. This was Tuesday, and then this was last night, midnight, and this is London session. So you can literally see how prices have just been stuck in this box, not really doing much. And then we go on a daily time frame. You can literally see the wick. So you see price literally just been playing around at this level. And you see kind of similar thing. But if we zoom out, we can see potentially a new low being made here. If it can hold this level. So potentially see a new low be made here, or we could see a retracement here or even here, and possibly a lower low getting made. Looking for sales regardless on this pair. But if we can break and hold underneath this level, we could possibly look for a sell entry here as well. So I'm gonna keep an eye on this on my other screen. So we're gonna keep AJ on this screen because we are in AJ currently. But yeah, it's doing a retest. It's struggling to break these levels of traffic, but if it can hold above this level here, we'll have a higher chance of breaking this as volume picks up. These wicks are a good sign. This is showing that it's rejecting price below it and trying to push up. But again, price is just extremely choppy. Like again, if you see, this is just showing choppiness. All these wicks, these small candlesticks, this is literally showing you struggling to really make moves. Just because just look to previous days. These are, you can see a clear difference. You can see volume in the market if you just look to the past. And then look, it's kind of like where we're at right now, choppiness. You can see a clear difference when there's volume in the market and the price is kind of choppy, right? But that's stuff we can't control. We can't control choppiness in the markets. That's not in our control. Anyways, going back, well, let me catch up to the comments before I get back deep into it. I look up the NMA. Yeah, I mean, just they talk about it a lot, especially I can't say Eminem. I'm pretty sure he talks about it too, but Kanye, he talks about it for sure. Like, especially, I don't know if you looked at like a couple of years ago when he had that documentary on Netflix. That literally shows you. He literally showed like that was kind of genius, like how they documented that from like years ago. But that literally shows you that man was getting turned down left and right. He was trying to rap. They were not trying to let him rap. They're just like, stick to the beats, bro. We just want your beats. We don't want to hear you rap. We don't care. If you would have just listened to them, he wouldn't be where he's at right now. You know what I'm saying? That's a perfect example. But USA is going digital in July. Fed now digital currency with expiration dates. No more paper money. I mean, that's kind of been dead for a while. Like, if we're going to talk about that, let's just think about 2020. That was them practicing that. Like, just think about in 2020. I don't know how it was in other countries, but in America at least, in 2020 they were practicing that. And actually, we can talk about that because price is kind of slow right now. So we're going to talk. We can get into that, or we can get into a lot of things. But just think about what happened in 2020 during that stuff. All right. They were literally doing that. There was a quote unquote coin shortage. Let's just think about that. That makes zero sense. How the hell is there a coin shortage out of nowhere? It makes zero sense, right? But they were swearing up and down there was a coin shortage. Remember, they were only accepting certain amounts. We had to pay with the exact dollar. They're acting like they didn't have any money to give us change, blah, 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 blah. That's also when they started adding stores. Well, that's when stores were like, okay, we're taking crypto now. That's when Apple Pay got super, super big. Don't get me wrong, Apple Pay been a thing, but it got super big during that time. When I was living in Cali back then too. So when I was in Cali, they were having restaurants and stores accepting crypto. Other countries been doing that. It's bigger in other countries, the crypto side. Like they got ATMs where you can switch exchanges in other countries. So like they've been practicing and preparing for that. So I'm not too shocked about that. But let's be real. At least me, I only really use cash. Like there's only a few times where I'll use cash anyway, so it won't really affect too many people. But they've been practicing and setting that up for a while, so that's not too surprising for me. There's a lot of stuff that they've been planning and preparing that on the back end I've been ready for, so I'm not really too surprised about that. Want me to go to California to Georgia? I mean, because I lived all over the place. You know what I'm saying? Georgia's home. You know what I'm saying? Like my ancestors are from here, so that's why Georgia. But Cali's just those are in the states. If you go from the West Coast to the East Coast, you know it's a whole different world. Like the environment, the nature is a completely different side. So I just went out there just to see what it was like. Because I've been all over the country, but that was one of the few states I'd never been to until I moved out there. So I was out there for like 2 years. And yeah, it was a vibe. It's definitely way more expensive, but it's definitely a vibe. I wouldn't move out there to live out there. It's definitely like a vacation or possibly a retirement spot because it just doesn't make sense to move out there. It just doesn't make sense, especially when I was out there during that time. It just doesn't make sense. Like if you're gonna move somewhere, Cali be the bottom of the list, and that's no hate towards Cali because I enjoy that state. But if we're just being smart and using our heads, of all the states to move to, if you're thinking like financially smart, it doesn't make sense. You got to pay for everything. And if you don't know how to parallel park, you're going to be struggling out there too. I promise you that. But you got to pay for everything out there. You got to pay for grocery bags. You go to the gas station, you got to pay for bags in the gas station. Gas is 3 times the amount compared to the South. The apartments, like if you just compare things to other states, is like it doesn't make any sense to move out there. But if you're born out there, that's different. You can't help that. And like I said, that's no hate to Cali. I was out there for 2 years. That shows I enjoyed it. But again, it's definitely not, if you're going to pick a place to move to, I would not suggest Cali unless you're prepared for it, because it's not sweet out there. It's not sweet out there. And also, you gotta watch your you gotta watch your cars. You better park that in a garage or a gated community, because gas siphoning is a thing out there. Your gas ain't safe. Because, like I said, let's just compare Georgia to Cali. Again, I don't know what it is out there currently, but it was like $3 more, and that's not even diesel. It's like $3 more a gallon compared to like the South. And Georgia is still more expensive than other states in the South. There's other states that are still like $1 cheaper than Georgia. But like when I moved out there, gas was like $2, $3 here. And then gas out there was $4, $5, and that wasn't even diesel. So yeah, it ain't sweet out there. But definitely enjoyed it there, especially like nature and the beach. Definitely beautiful out there. Definitely recommend visiting. But moving there, you got to plan that out. I promise you that, because it is not sweet. But yeah, new 15 about to start in about a minute. Gonna see what GN's talking about. Let's also look at GA. See what's going on. Yeah, so prices is kind of ranging. So right now we're waiting to see if price can break below this level. We're gonna look for a sell there. We're also looking at GA right now. It just broke the level below. So we're going to see if we can hold this. Well, not GA, my bad. GN. We just went over GN. GN. Yeah, so we can hold this level. We could possibly look for a sell here. But literally, even with the AJ trade, we can just see how it's kind of choppy right now. But we do got news later on at the start of New York, so things might pick up after that. Whoops. So yeah, I want to see a retest here. If we can hold this level, that'd be great. It did a slight retest on the 5 minute. So we're going to keep an eye on this as well. But yeah, it's literally just prices just ranging. I don't really like to trade in ranging markets, which is what I'm waiting for. It's a breakout the choppiness, but this is even EA. Same thing on the 15-minute time frame. Just playing around right now. So not much we can do about that. But let's go ahead and see what SPX is talking about. Oh, wow. Okay, that thing just rejected that level. That was a huge rejection to the downside. Let's see what NAS is talking about. I had that marked off, and I was going over that with the members yesterday in the New York price watch list, and it was choppy and didn't really do nothing. That was the first big drop. So I am kind of considering it's still bullish, but we do have this imbalance here in the choppiness, so we could possibly see short-term sales. And since price is choppy, sometimes you got to adjust and adapt sometimes, especially when you're trying to, like me, I like to trade Monday through Friday. But obviously, if there's no setups, there's no setups. But I have the main strategy I use, and I got a few others in the back burner for just in case it's like choppy days. All right, so I have like a buy limit strategy, sell limit strategy, and then I have another strategy for like certain setups. So we can see short-term sales, but as you can see here, we have levels of traffic right underneath here. Then we have levels of traffic above here. So it's really just going to be a volume game. So that's why it's also choppy, because there's not a lot of volume. Price is just playing pinball. So when there's not volume, price is just going to play around in these levels until there is volume, right? So this is a perfect example, right? This is a perfect example. Price just ranging, playing around here. You see all these small candlesticks. Then look, what caused the change? Volume. You can see, let me zoom in so y'all can see what I'm talking about. Look at all these candlesticks. What changed? Volume. Volume pumped up and helped price break out of this ranginess, right? And then what happened after price broke out of this ranginess? Did it retest? Huge drop to the downside. Then what happened after that? That's when the volume started to pick up, right? You see the volume starting to pick up. Then this choppiness, what happened? Price broke out of it, and now it's playing on top of it. Hold on. All right, cool. 1 second. All right, so GN is doing a retest. All right, back on this screen. All right, so volume picked up, which caused price to break out of this choppiness. And then again, price broke out of it. Now it's playing on top of what got created previously. Then what changed? Volume. Then look, now it's stuck underneath this level. Then it rejected, and now we're going to see if it can hold underneath this level of traffic. All right, that's all price does. All right, look to the left, it's going to explain what's happening in the present and what could potentially happen in the future. Because again, we don't have a crystal ball, so all we can do is go off base what happened, previously in the past. Now, I was considering buys, and that can still be valid depending on what happens during New York. But as we can see here, we could possibly see some short-term sells here. I really don't like going for short-term positions or counter trend positions, but as we can see here, it got super choppy, but we are on top of this level of price here. So yeah, it's just one of those situations where we see us doing a retest. So we're going to see how we got a new 5 minutes. So we're going to keep an eye on this. GN's doing a retest right now. Let's see what these other pairs are doing. The GA just stuck in that range. See what else going on. JPY pairs are doing a retracement. Price is just ranging right now. I see your comments. What I think about EU long, Euro USD. Let's pull that up. Now, I haven't updated these lows. These lows are off because I haven't traded like USD pairs. I think since the year started, to be honest. But we're just looking at this on the daily. Then these levels are off. It's kind of stuck underneath this level of traffic here. So it's really depending on what happens today. Because again, if we just look on the daily, no new highs have been made. It's kind of been attempting to make a new high, but this was the previous higher high that was made. Well, we can say technically this, but as you can see, after this, it just got super choppy. No new highs have been made. And then we saw a rejection and some exhaustion to the upside going down. So depending on how it reacts to this level, because we have a key support resistance level at around 9.8, around like 9.909. My bad, I'm trying to get these numbers right. At around like 0.990, we have a strong support resistance level. And as we can see, price rejected that level It's kind of treating as resistance. So if price can break back above that level and hold as support, then I would consider buys. The other possible buy position already kind of started, and that would have been at like 0.950. So that's, if you want to look for buy, that's what I consider buys at. But if you want to be super safe, I'd wait to see if price can break above and hold above 0.990 if you want to look for buys. But right now we do see some exhaustion. So depending on how it reacts to that level, we could see it reject down to 0.910. And depending on there, you could possibly look for buys there. So those are the three levels I'd pay attention to. But if it breaks and rejects 0.910, 0.920-ish price range, then we could possibly see a reversal to the downside. All right, but as we can see here, it's just super choppy right now, just like most of these pairs. But we do have news today, so I want to see the news kind of bring volume into the markets and kind of help us break out of this box and range we're kind of in right now. But again, these levels aren't up to date, but the levels are still key price levels. The current are still relevant to where price is at right now. So those are three levels I pay attention to if I was going to trade EU. Now, am I going to trade EU today? No, just because I don't like where it's at right now. That's my opinion on EU. But yeah, as you can see, price is just not doing much right now. Nothing we can do about that. Nothing we can do about that. Sometimes, volume is just low. But it is Wednesday, so I do want to see things pick back up. Like I said, we do got some news popping off at 8:30 EST. We got CPI popping off. Going to go live with the members and during New York. Yeah, that's pretty much it. We didn't even take any trades last night. Well, I didn't take any trades last night. For the same reason, it was just choppiness. It was like a quick move around midnight, but that's when I go to sleep. I take a little quick nap before I go live. But other than that, it's just been super choppy. AJ is doing a retest. Support level. New 5 minutes just started. We got another 5 minutes until the next 15. So we're going to see if we can hold this level. See what these other pairs are doing. Yeah, even GN. We're still going to watch GN, but even GN, it's just doing what it's been doing since yesterday, the Tokyo session. We saw this red hit this level. Again, why didn't we enter? Because we wanted to wait and see how it would close. New 5 minutes started. We see it's rejecting back. It can come back down here, but again, if we would have just entered simply because it broke our level, we'd be in drawdown right now and possibly at risk for it reversing back up like it did here. But your price is just choppy right now. Can't do nothing about that. But we might be able to jump into something else. Yeah, we're going to see what this next 15 looks like. So I am looking at NAS. Kind of like how NAS is looking. NAS looks like it's trying to follow SPX's lead. About to see what US30 is doing also. Because these are the only ones that are looking like they're trying to do something. So I'm going to pay attention to these right here. Yeah, so I'm looking at US30 and NAS right now. I'm looking at possible short positions. I don't know about long term, but at least right here before New York, we're looking at some short positions. And depending on how it looks like pre-market, will determine if it's going to be a long term. So we're going to be looking at the next 15, but I am going to be looking at some short positions on NAS and US30. in drawdown on AJ right now. And this is trying to shift back down. So we're watching GN, we're going to be watching NAS, we're going to be watching US30. That's going to be the game plan right now. We're going to be watching GN, NAS, and US30. I'll catch up to the comments in 1 second. Just marking these levels off really quick. I kind of like this right here. Yeah, so let me write this up. I'm going to catch up to the comments in a sec. I'm just writing some of these trade ideas up. Yeah, so right now we're going to be watching GN. We're going to be watching NAS and US30. We're in Asia right now. We're still going to hold that to SR. TP gets hit, like always. But we're going to be checking these out as well. Those are just on the stream. We're only in one trade right now. Posted that in the free signal room. You can see on your screen how we did last week. We're going to go over how we're doing this. Well, you see how we're doing this week as well, but we're going to go over all that in a second. Just looking at the charts right now. What's this SL going to be? That SL is going to be 13,270, 13,280. All right, new 15 is rejecting that level, so we're going to leave it alone until it comes back below. But it's rejecting that level right now. All right, so I'm watching NAS right now. We got a wick here too, so it might turn red on this. So we're going to keep an eye on this also. I'm also watching AJ. So like I said, I'm looking at NAS right now. AJ's rejecting that level. So that happens. So yeah, we're going to leave that alone. We're still going to hold to SRT, but it is rejecting. It's heading towards SL. So we're going to see. We do have our SL is right at that level of traffic. So we're going to see if it's going to hold above it or it's going to break through it. All right, so that's why we have our SL there. Let me put it up so y'all see what I'm talking about. So it did reject this level. So as we saw, it was trying definitely for a while to hold up, but it's rejecting that level. Our stop loss is right underneath here. So as we see, it is struggling to break through it. But if it breaks through that, we're most likely wrong. But if it can hold that level, it can possibly break back up, and then we can hit some TPs. But if it breaks through this level in our SL, realistically, we're wrong. And we're just going to wait for the next price levels to look for possible entries. All right. All my let's redo that. All my SLs, all my TPs are placed at certain key price levels. So realistically, if our stop loss gets hit, we just enter too early or we just had the wrong trade idea. But that's what's going on right there. And like I said, all trades posted are trades I personally entered too. I'm not just calling trades out my ass. So when we're blue together. When we're in drawdown together. All that good stuff. We're going to put this back on GM. Again, you see how we are this week. We're 4-0. So again, even if this does to SL, it'll be taken out some of the profits not are starting what's the I can't think of the word, not our starting price for the week. As you can see here, GN is just ranging and choppy. Literally nothing we can do about that. But we're about to pull up indices and see what's going on there. Yeah, so NAS is doing a retest. I want to see how that retest is doing. I might enter just maybe that, but everything else is choppy. So just going to be keeping an eye on the price. But like I said from the beginning of the stream, a lot of retracements are needed to happen right now. Looks like they are kind of starting. GA's up too. But yeah, like literally, prices just ranging back and forth on these other pairs. I'm pulling them up right now. All these other pairs we're looking at, prices just literally stuck, bouncing back and forth. My bad, y'all. I'm quiet because I'm typing something up right now. So just give me 1 second. $13.1, 35. Give me 1 second, y'all. Typing up some trade ideas. I see y'all's comments. I'm gonna catch up to your comments after this. So give me 1 second. 12. Mm-hmm. $80, $95, $85, $95, $65, $95, $35, $8. Give me that 13. 13,080. Oh, that's what the issue is. My bad, y'all. I was doing some math in my head because I did something wrong. I was like, that don't add up. Okay, that makes sense. 13, 0. $13.0. All right, that makes a lot more sense. All right, bam. Give me 1 second, y'all. Cool. Yeah, but as we see, this rejected. Gonna pull back up. See what these other pairs are doing. Yeah, this is rejecting that level. So yeah, just gonna leave these alone. We do need some retracements to happen. So I want to see them happen before New York, before the news event. That'd be nice. But yeah, I kind of waiting for a retracement right here because again, I want to look for sales. It's rejecting that level, which is fine. So we're just gonna either look for a sell this daily level here, or even one of these levels here. Because looking at price, this is the lower low, so we need a lower high to be made, aka retracement. So we're going to enter off after the lower high is made, so we can jump in on the lower low. So just looking at, well, let's zoom out a little bit. So just looking at price, we could look for entry here or here. This will be a good position, or even here for a lower low. I mean, lower high into a lower low. But we are looking for retracement today. And then it's Wednesday. Wednesday is also known for midweek reversals. So that's kind of what's going on right here too. But again, we went through a lot of pairs, and we literally just see it just choppy. We've been on for about an hour. Not too much has been going on. So let's pull back up AJ. And I think that took us out. Oh, not yet, but we're almost there. So yeah, this might be the first L of the week. It does happen. You're not going to win every trade, but that's why you what do you call it? That's why the risk to reward and risk management is so important. Because again, if you're risking 5% per trade, well, let's keep it simple. Let's say you're risking $20 per trade, right? So we're 4-0 for the week. So now we're 4-1 for the week. So let's say each trade we're risking $20, right? And let's just keep it simple. All right. Well, before I get to this, let me catch up to the comments. Oh, thanks, bro. Appreciate it. US30 is going. Yeah, facts. Yeah, US30 is moving. In NAS right now, slight blue on NAS, but they are dropping. Like I said, if you're in US30, let me go over these key price levels before I go over what I'm about to go over. So if you're in US30, that thing did drop nicely. I'm in NAS right now though, but yeah. So in US30, we do have this level of traffic here that we was talking about. And again, you look to the left, it's going to explain what's happening in the present and what could potentially happen in the future. Why do we see a wick? Why did price retrace right here? Price doesn't just randomly retrace or randomly pump or randomly dump. All right, we look here, we see price at this level of traffic. It's not a coincidence that when price hit this level, let's try that again. It's not a coincidence when price hit this level that it rejected, right? Just like last time price hit this level, it rejected also. Let's look to the left. Oh, look, last time price hit this level, May 23rd, it did the same thing. Oh, it did the same thing here. Not May 23rd, May 4th, it did the same thing here. May 2nd. Oh, look at this. It's doing the same thing here. Um, April, right? Oh, look at this. Price doing the same thing here. This was all the way at the beginning of April. All right. So again, that's just to show that price never just randomly does stuff. All right. Here's a good, I actually have a video on this, right? But here's a good back testing strategy. If you see a wick, just put a line at that wick, look to your left and to your right, and 9 times out of 10, you're going to see a bunch of coincidences. All right. 9 times out of 10, you're going to see a bunch of coincidences. So that's a good back testing strategy. All right. Because again, price never just randomly does stuff. All right. So if it can break through this level, I'd pay attention to 33,440. And then on the extreme, 33, like 320-ish. All right. But if it hits 3320-ish, that's the next part where you can see a possible harsh rejection, like we see here multiple times. Hit this level, harsh rejection, harsh rejection, harsh rejection, harsh rejection. Same thing here. Strong support resistance level. And then before this, if we zoom in right here, we can see this was getting treated as resistance before it turned to support. Strong support turns to a strong resistance. All right. But let's go back to what was we looking at? We was looking at this. Yeah, so just at this level. So we're gonna see if we can hold this level, but it was ranging here. So I kind of want to, before we get to that, let's see what it's looking like. Yeah, so we're seeing some reversals here. So we're gonna see if we can hold this level. If it breaks that level, we might have to change the game plan slightly with the GA, because if it breaks this level, depending on how it reacts to the level above it, we could possibly see continuation of the uptrend. It just really depends on how today goes. All right, but let's go back to the numbers game. So let's say you're risking 5% per trade, and let's just say that 5% equals $20. Just to keep it simple, let's just say that 5% equals $20. So if you're risking $20 per trade, and right now we're 5-1, so we took 4 wins, 1 loss. All right, so let's just keep it simple. We're gonna do a few scenarios. So let's just say all the trades you took were 1 to 2 risk rewards, to keep it simple for this first scenario. So we took 4 trades. We're risking $20 per trade. 1 to 2 means you made 2 times what you're risking. 2 times 20 is $40. So we won 4 trades. Let's just say all 4 of those trades were 1 to 2 risk rewards. All right. So what's 40 times 4? 4, 8, 12. You know what I'm saying? Actually, I want to get this super accurate, so I'm not about to do this. 40. All right, so we're at 160. So we're at 160 right now. We took 1 loss. All right, so now we're down $20. We're up 160 for the week. Now well, stop loss hasn't been hit yet, but let's say it does get hit because new 15 just start. So if it doesn't reverse, it's most likely going to hit it. So let's say we lose this trade. All right, so we're down $20. So we're up 160 and we're down $20. So we're still up 140 for the week. And not only are we up 140 for the week, but that loss didn't hit our base amount for the week, our starting amount for the week. It just took us some of our profits. All right, that's why it's important to risk the same amount per trade. All right, now let's give us another scenario. That's the scenario for this week. So it's trying to push back up. But even if we do hit this, even if stop loss gets hit, again, because we risk the same amount per trade, we're still going to be up for the week. Which, honestly, if you're 4-1, you should be up for the week. There's no reason you shouldn't be up for the week if you won 4 trades and lost 1 trade. All right. But that's why risk to reward and calculating your lot size is so important. Now, let's give another scenario. Let's say we took 3 trades. We lost 2 trades and we won 1 trade, right? So again, remember, we're risking $20 per trade. So we lost 2 trades, so we're down $40, right? Now let's say that 1 trade we won, same thing, was a 1 to 2 risk reward, which means we made twice what we're risking. So we're down $40 because we lost 2 trades. 20 times 2 is 40. And then we won 1 trade, and like I said, that 1 trade was a 1 to 2 risk reward. So we made $40. So even though we lost 2 trades because we calculated our lot size and risked the same amount per trade, even though we lost 2 trades, that 1 trade canceled out those 2 losses and we're break even though we're 1 and 2. Now, let's say that trade we won was a 1 to 3 risk reward, which is realistic because we caught 1 to 3 risk rewards before. Here's a perfect example. This was a trade me and the members caught last week. This was a 1 to 3 risk reward. So it's very possible, right? So let's say that 1 trade we won was a 1 to 3 risk reward. So again, we're still down $40. But the 1 trade we won, we made 3 times our risk. So 20 times 3 is what? $60. So what's 60 minus 40? 20. So even though we lost 2 trades, that 1 winner not only canceled out those 2 losses, but we're still up for the week. Now, I know that kind of sounds crazy. You lost 2 trades and won 1 trade, but you're still up for the week. How's that possible? It's possible because, again, we've taken the time to calculate our lot size and make sure any of the trades we enter are decent risk to rewards. Okay. Now let's give another scenario. Well, we don't need to give another scenario because the other scenario would have been we won 2 trades, lost 1 trade. You know what I'm saying? So that is why it's so important to calculate your lot size and make sure you have a decent risk reward. But AJ is still trying. I'm still holding that until SL gets hit. But again, that's why it's so important to take the time to calculate your lot size and make sure risk reward is good. And that's how you'll also be able to survive long term. Because again, as we know, no strategy is 100%. Like if we just look at last week, well, we look at this was last month. So we look at last week. This wasn't last week. Click, clickety, click. All right. So we look at last week. Did I scroll too far? I think I scrolled too far. Hold on. Let's recap the day. All right. So this was last week. So last week we went 7 and 2, 77% run rate, right? Now let's go to the beginning. This is May 1st. All right, so to start off that week, again, this was all the news reports. Well, 1-1 for the first week. First day was break even. All right, so started off not too rough, but not on an amazing start compared to this. Second day, as you can see, went 2-1 because again, this was a free play, but we took some other trades in the advanced play signal room. So we ended that day 2-1, 3-2 for the week, right? And I don't think I took any trades on. I feel like there's a day I didn't take any trades. I could be wrong. All right, so we go to the 4th. Oh no, we took a trade. So we started off the week rough, right? But again, you stick to your rules, you stay consistent, you risk the same amount per trade. Volume starts to pick up, caught a nice move on SPX, right? So started the week off rough, and this was last week. Started the week off rough. Wednesday comes, volume starts to pick up. We start catching some pips. Went 2-0 that day, got 4,000 pips, right? And then we go down to, I think this was Friday. Yeah, this was Friday. So did I not trade on Thursday? I don't think I traded on Thursday. No, Tuesday I didn't trade. All right, so I didn't take any trades on Tuesday. Break even on Monday. Only had 3 profitable days out of the 4 days. But because I calculated my lot size properly, I was able to break even on Monday. Also, there's another reason why I was able to break even on Monday, but that's another topic. And then Wednesday and Thursday, when volume started to pick up, I was able to make up for not trading on Tuesday and having a rough start on Monday. Why? Because you just come to the market every day, consistent, understanding what's going on, calculating your lot size, not chasing trades, not over leveraging, and just sticking to your trading plan, right? All right, so that's the goal. Because again, going back to you, Cursor, whoever told you that nonsense is ridiculous. Because again, if you just go through the channel, you're gonna see like literally there are some weeks where we went undefeated, but on average, you're gonna lose a couple trades a week, especially when you're taking, unless you're taking 1 trade a day, that's different. But we take multiple trades a day, multiple trades a week. You're gonna lose some trades. Like this week, we went 14-1, right? The week before that, went 11-0. So there are some times where you're going to be undefeated, right? For the week, we went 10-0 this week, awesome, right? We go to this week, we went 12-3, still 80% win rate, not terrible. But again, you're not going to win every trade. But the goal is to win more than you lose, and to make sure that your risk reward and your you calculate your lot size, just like those. Unless you just jumped in, rewind like 10 minutes. But just like how we went over that example with the 3 trade scenario, even if you lose 2 trades, if your 1 winner trade is a minimum 1 to 2, you can break even. Let's say that your setup was a 1 to 2 and it went halfway, because not every trade is going to hit every TP. So let's say it went halfway and it's a 1 to 1. Even if you lost those 2 trades, you're down 40, right? A 1 to 1 means you're made what you risked. So you lost $40. but that one trade was 1-to-1, so you made $20, right? So you're down $20, which you can make back that fourth trade if it's a winner. So even losing 2 trades, winning 1 trade, you're still down literally as if you would have just took 1 loss. So even a 1-to-1 can cancel out one of your losses if you calculate your lot size to make sure you're risking the same amount per trade. All right. Now, members, if you're not in the group chat, join the group chat. Click the pin message in the advanced play signal room. There's 3 pin messages. Click until you see the one that says the group chat rules. Read the group chat rules. At the bottom of that is the link to join the group chat. Once you join the group chat, the pin message in the group chat, there's a video explaining how to calculate your lot size to make sure you're able to do exactly what I talked about. And those that aren't members, it's very simple how to do it. All you gotta do is just play around, but you have to know how to count pips. So if you don't know how to count pips, there's a video on my channel literally taught her how to count pips. I'm probably going to link that right now. All right, because it's very important, because you can't really calculate your lot size if you don't know how to count pips, because then you won't be able to determine how many pips your stop loss is, how many pips you need, how many, what your lot size can be for that amount the stop loss is. Basically, you won't be able to do a lot of stuff if you don't know how to count pips or read the charts. So let me find this video. And I'm going to catch up to the comments after I drop this video. Let me see. So my bad, y'all. Give me 1 second. I'm doing good, Fitmore. How you doing? 1 second. Where is that video? Here it is. All right, so this video is called How to Count Pips. And again, those that have funded accounts or prop firm accounts, the indices, you have to count and calculate them a little bit differently. Those that have done prop firm challenges, you know what I'm talking about. But I go over how to count pips on prop firm accounts and personal live accounts. And personal live accounts. All right, so I'm about to link this video. It's literally just 4 minutes long. Like I said, it's just straight to the point. Literally just immediately start breaking down how to count it. So make sure to check that video out. I'm about to put it in the comments right now. All right, bam. All right, cool. Whoops. What the heck? All right, let's move that over. Yeah, so we see prices retracting back up. So we're going to see how it reacts to the level above here. Again, we do got some news going on, and we do need some retracements to happen. So it's not too much of a surprise. I still am leaning towards sells on GN, GA, depending on how it reacts to these levels above here. That could change. We could possibly see the uptrend come back into play. Really depends on how it reacts to those next 2 levels above it. But looking at the New Zealand pairs, I am still leaning towards sells. Again, unless the news causes some crazy pump and it breaks 3 levels and comes all the way up here, I'm still going to consider sells. I'm consider sells at this level here, or even if the price comes up to here, I'm still going to look for sells. I'm only going to consider buys if price breaks above 2.0160. If it breaks and holds that level of support, then I'll consider looking for buys. But anything under that, I'm going to be looking for sells on GN. But as you can see, it's kind of just choppy right now. And I'm not against some reversal. I'm not reversal, retracement. But it's playing around at this level still. As you can see, like literally it's just been playing around here all stream. Nothing we can do about that. But that's what I'm looking for on GN. GA, like I said, it really depends on how it reacts to the level it's currently at. And if it keeps pushing up the level above that level. Looking at not GJ, looking at gold. Look at gold. See what that's doing. Yeah, so that's just playing around as well. So I wouldn't even mess with gold unless it hits or breaks above 2040 or comes back down to 2022. I'm still leaning towards buys because as you can see, we've been going for buys and it's just been gradually going up. I did do this drop here, but the members, we went over that. But other than that, you see it's gradually going up. So I wouldn't even consider sells unless it breaks below this level at 2005, 2006. Anything above that, it'd be still kind of safe for buys. But price is just kind of choppy right now. So that's why we're leaving it alone. And then plus we took a nice buy on that yesterday. And it's just been retracing and now it's kind of stuck in this range like we kind of went over at the beginning of the stream with the levels of traffic and the little box and range. That's kind of where price is at right now. Price is kind of stuck. Let's do this. Price is kind of stuck in this box right here. Looks like it's about to try to break out of it though. So we'll see. But that's pretty much what's going on there. NAS and the indices are doing a retracement as well. But yeah, everything's kind of just choppy right now. So I kind of want to see New York, especially after this news, things pick up. But yeah, if I do enter anything else, it'll probably be either pre-New York, pre-market New York, or after the news when I'm live with the members. But that's pretty much what's going on there. Yeah, and as you can see, it is kind of wicking that level, which is why we have our stop loss there. I'm talking about AJ. So again, if it breaks that level, we were wrong. But if it can hold that level and push back up, like it's attempting to, let me pull that up so y'all see what I'm talking about. Because I always be talking about pairs, looking at my other screen. All right, so you can see here, this is why our stop loss was here. Because again, if price breaks this level, that means we were wrong. By wrong, I mean that means it's going to come to the next key price level, either come down to here or continue to break down here. But if it holds this level, like it's been wicking, and it can potentially push back up. All right, so hold to SRTP gets hit like always. But that's pretty much what's going on there. That's the only trade we took. We didn't take, me and the members didn't take any trades last night just because price was just choppy. Nothing really was going on last night. But yeah, GJ retraced too, which is probably why that pair retraced. So this might be coming back down to its key price level. But as you can see, it's still trying to push up as well. So we're just going to see what happens there. We're going to go back to GN really quick before I hop off. My alarm did just go off, so I do got to edit some videos for today to post. But yeah, literally just price is playing around. Those have been the entire stream. We've been on for about almost 2 hours, and this is literally all prices done. So it's literally just been ranging. And then prior to us going live, price has just been taking a nap at this level. It's really been doing this since yesterday, since London session yesterday. Because this was Tokyo session this was Tokyo session Monday night, Tuesday morning. Then this was London session. This was New York. And then this was Tokyo session. And then this is currently London session. So price literally has not really moved anywhere at all since that huge drop on Monday. Did this huge drop on Monday, and now it's just been chilling here. All right, so kind of want to see if the news is going to help bring some volume in the market, get things moving. Because right now, we're like we just went over at the beginning of the stream, we're stuck in these levels of traffic in these boxes. So we need volume to break out of this. So no volume, we're going to be doing what we've been doing all live, which is playing pinball. All right, but when there's volume in the markets, like we went over, I forgot what pair we went over that with. We went over it with one of those pairs. I forgot what pair, because that pair we went over with was a perfect example of volume coming into the market. I don't remember what pair, but we went over it in the beginning. So if y'all just joined the stream, I suggest rewinding to the beginning, just so y'all can see what we went over. Because again, I know the title was live trading, but again, it's not just about taking trades. There's a lot of stuff that goes into trading that y'all got to know and understand. All right. But let's see, let me catch up. What do you have in mind about today's CPI? Okay, so I get questions like that a lot. I can't really answer a question like that because I don't care because I don't watch the news. I don't really care what they're saying, because at the end of the day, they're just reading a piece of paper that they were told to read on TV, right? So they already know what they have planned for the markets to do today and this week and next month and next quarter. They already got all this stuff planned. So what I do is just read the charts and the levels. So let me drop this video, and this is literally how I go about the charts, all right? You don't need to really read the reports about what they say and all those projections, because at the end of the day, it literally just follows the market flow of price. Like news literally just follows the market flow of price. That's all it does. But when it's a situation like this, when we're at key price levels where we can possibly see a reversal and or continuation, that's when things can get kind of sticky. But I can't be like, oh, because the CPI, I think the CPI is going to be strong, or I don't know any of those terms, because I don't really care about that stuff. All right, all that stuff's just smoke and mirrors, bro. All of it's smoke and mirrors. You got to know how to read the charts. All right, so this video I just put up, once it pops up. All right, so you need to watch. Whoops. I'm putting this on for the people watching the recording. Make sure to watch this video, how to count pips, and then this video, how to trade news. There's two parts. This part is part one, and this is how I go about trading the news. And then I have a part two where I show y'all two trades that I took on news days, doing exactly what I talked about in that first video. All right. So let me drop part two. All right, so I watched them in this order. Watch that video first, and then watch the second video after. And they're back to back on my channel as well. So watch that video first, then watch this video after. All right, but honestly, and you're going to start noticing it. And those that are members, y'all should know this as well, because we go live most news events, most high impact news events during New York session. So y'all see this play out literally every week. So y'all should know this. All right, but those that aren't members, price honestly just follows the flow, right? There's three things price does. It's only two directions price goes, up and down, right? But there's three ways price moves: uptrend, downtrend, and then what people call sideways market and or consolidation when it's just ranging, right? Those are three things price does: either uptrend, downtrend, or is stuck in consolidation. That's the three things price does. So what you need to do on those event days is, one, I go over this all in the videos. One, figure out what time the news event is and what's the main pair it's going to affect. Now with the USD news, if you haven't noticed, most of the time USD news will affect a lot of other pairs. Like a lot of times it will affect the Euro pairs, GBP pairs, JPY pairs, etc., etc. Not all the time, but a lot of the time, right? But you want to figure out what's the main pair that's going to be affected by the news. Then you need to know what the news event is. CPIs, PPIs, FOMC, unemployment claims, unemployment rates. Those are the main ones where you'll see volatility in the market when the news pops off. There are some other ones, but usually when the governor speaks, when it's FOMC, when it's unemployment claims, like we saw last week, when it's we went over FOMC, ADP obviously, but that's literally just like once or twice a month. Unemployment claims, employment change, employment rates, PMIs, PPIs, CPIs. Those are the main red folder news events where you'll see volatility. You still want to pay attention to all red folder news events because red folder means high impact. And when it's high impact news, there's a chance of volatility spikes and manipulation in the markets, right? So the first thing you want to do is know what pairs are going to be highly affected and what time those news events are going to be coming out. Once you know that, then you can be prepared for that. So it's within a 30 minutes to an hour of the news event. It's a little bit riskier to enter a trade, but if it's like 3 hours before a news event and it's a good setup, I wouldn't be afraid to enter a trade as long as it follows the rules and you're not over leveraging. But for the most part, price is going to continue to do one of these three things. It's either going to continue the uptrend, continue the downtrend, or if it's an ranging market, which we see a lot of pairs are in currently, which is why I was talking about I want to wait for the news to see if it's going to break out. Because again, when price is ranging, it's going to break out at some point, but we don't know if it's going to break out to the upside or the downside, right? So when price is ranging, it's best to wait for it to break out either above or below. Breaks out above, treats that level as support, you look for a buy, right? If it breaks out below, treats this level as resistance. After the retest, you can possibly look for a sell, right? But you want to wait for price to kind of break out of this level. You want to wait for a few confirmations. So right now, what are we in right now? We're in a downtrend, and we're in the middle of a lower high. But if we go on the smaller time frames, we can kind of see that we're stuck in these levels of traffic, right? Members, we're going to go over this on the live as well for the new people, but those that have been here for at least the past month, y'all should know what levels of traffic are. If you don't, we're going to go over that in today's live. But we're kind of stuck in these levels of traffic right now. So that's why price is just extremely choppy. And again, it's not a coincidence. We had a nice volume pump day on Monday. Tuesday was kind of okay, but it was still kind of choppy. And now today we have some news coming out. So I'm not going to be too shocked if the news is going to help us break out of these levels. So that's what we're kind of waiting on. We took a trade on AJ. Was attempting, like we saw in the beginning, we were slightly blue and it was like a pip or two away from hitting the first TP, but it rejected that level and started retracing to the downside, right? So that's basically what happened. So that's what we're waiting on right now. So CPI, PPI, all that stuff, I don't really care. I don't read the reports. You know what I'm saying? I just strictly look at the charts and determine what is most likely going to happen. All right. And that's how I go about it. I've never watched news till this day. And, you know, we've been fine. And a lot of times we call trades before the news. And then when the news starts, it ends up continuing to dump in our favor. That's happened a lot of times. Those that have been here, since the beginning of this year even, y'all know that. Y'all been here last year. Since last year, y'all know that for sure. But even that video, how long ago did I post that video on the How to Trade News video? That was just 3 months ago. So yeah, the beginning of the year. So yeah, definitely check that video out. That video is going to help you out. Both those videos are going to help y'all out. But that's how I go about news, because at the end of the day, they already know what they have planned for the news event. They already got that piece of paper printed out. They know what they want news to do. So I'm not really worried about that way. Because we understand that prices, once you understand how prices manipulate on the charts, you start to understand basically the game they're running on people. You know what I'm saying? But it's good because once you understand the game they're playing and once you know the rules, then you can play too. It's just like with taxes, right? There's a lot of stuff they don't teach you, taxes and money. There's a lot of stuff they do not teach you purposely about money and taxes. Why? Because if everybody knew the rules to the game, there'd be a lot more winners than losers. It's just like when you're playing a game with your friend, right? Now, sometimes if they're like, I never played before, especially like card games or something like that, you might hold back on some things that you know. Why? Because it'll give you an advantage. Same thing with trading, same thing with money, same thing with taxes, same thing with business, same thing with sports, all that stuff. All right, but once you know the rules to the game, then you can play along with it. But that's pretty much what's going on right here. It's just choppiness. That's all that's going on right now. Nothing we do about that. But looking back at AJ is trying to push back up. So again, that's why we hold the SRTP. We're going to see if it can come back up because as you can see, it is trying. So we're going to let that run and do its thing for now. But that's pretty much it. I'm not going to enter anything else, probably unless we'll see what happens in the next hour or two, but probably not until after the news to be on the safe side. That's pretty much what's going on there. All right, let me make sure I cut it to the comments. And honestly, going back to you, Cursor, I don't know if you're in here still. Going back to you, it honestly, it does need to take years, right? And this is not me, because y'all know I don't be selling shit. Like, I mean, I sell shit, but like, I used to do sales, so I really wanted to do some sales shit or like really push this stuff on you. I gotta be doing things a whole different way, but I'm not. I just really just on the charts talking. Most people that join because of results, not me trying to pitch something to them. But I'm putting this on the screen because it doesn't have to take years. Obviously, everybody's gonna have their own pace, and everybody's got different conditions. Some people can put an hour a day in. Some people can only, some people can put 2 hours in. Some people can put 4 hours in. Honestly, everybody can put an hour in a day if they wanted to. I promise you right now, if you write down every hour of the day, Sunday to Saturday, literally every hour of the day, you write down the hours you're at work, the hours, you at the gym. And honestly, if we're being real, just put down the hours you work. The rest of that time that you're not working, and besides the time you're sleeping, so put the time you work and put the time you sleep. The rest of those are hours you can have time to do what you want, right? Because a lot of people say, I don't got time. If you're not asleep or at work, if you're not sleeping or if you're not working, you have time. You're sitting down watching your favorite show, your celebrity gossip, you can use that time to put on the charts, right? Even if you're eating, I got plenty of YouTube videos. Y'all be watching shows on YouTube while you're eating anyways. Watch a YouTube video, right? You have time. And the reason why I say that is because that's what I did. I used to work 2 jobs, literally 2 jobs. Only had 1 day off, 2 half days, work 6 days a week, 14, 16 hours a day, right? I still made time to study for the charts, working 2 jobs, 6 days a week. So if I could make time to put an hour plus a day in to study the charts, working 2 jobs, you can too. Obviously, everybody's got different conditions. Some people got children, other stuff. But again, you can put time. I got a member that works, got children, family. He still puts in time for the one-on-one sessions. And then on top of the one-on-one sessions, he puts in time outside of that to watch the videos or to practice on the charts. So again, it's just excuses, and it's just up to you. It's just what you prioritize. All right. But going back to that, it doesn't have to take years. Okay. It can if you're learning on your own. All right. But if you have somebody or you know somebody that actually knows what they're doing and you trust their judgment and mentorship, invest in a mentor. Trust me, it will save time. All right. Because it took me a while because I had to learn things on my own. Trial and error. I literally had to learn. I learned the strategy on my own. I learned how to count pips on my own. I learned how to calculate my lot size on my own. I learned how to read the charts on my own. I literally learned all of this on my own, which is why it took me so long. But if you have some mentor that's already made the mistakes you're making, already been where you're at, that learning curve alone can help you out versus if you're trying to learn on your own. Just saying that. Like, it doesn't have to take years. It doesn't. It can take less than a year, to be honest. That's not me. Obviously, I'm not going to promise nothing because, again, it's up to you, the person. Not specifically you, Cursor, but like in general, it's up to you, the person. But it doesn't have to, like, you can learn this in a year if you wanted to and be profitable that same year or next year. It's definitely, like, if you actually put in the time, you can make your mistakes, learn, and then by the end of this year, this year, you can be profitable consistently. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you already have some experience trading, it's just going to be a lot easier because then you just need to understand the rules and have the right concept and strategy down. But if you already have some experience trading, it's going to be a lot easier. But even if you're brand stinking new to trading, all you need is a year, to be honest. Like, you don't need more than that. But again, with these other traders and stuff like that, there's a lot of things that aren't being taught that is missing, right? So that's why the learning curve is so long. But literally, let me just pull this up. Literally, if we just I'm gonna pull two things up. Let me do this really quick. Let me pull this up. Let me do this really quick. All right, so I got over 200 videos. Now we're just strictly on videos, right? All my videos are under 15 minutes long, shorter than your favorite TV episode, shorter than a SpongeBob episode, right? I have videos from trading, turning $200 into 2,000. Obviously, this is part 2. If y'all want a part 3, let me know. I only did part 2, but in 3 days, I made 50% of my account, not over leveraging. And again, in this video, I show lot sizes, screen recordings, break down the trades I took, all that stuff. All right, I have multiple trade breakdowns with big moves. These aren't 10 pip moves, 168 pip move, 2,400 pips or 240 point move. You know what I'm saying? I got videos on how to trade news. I got videos on 3 things you need to do before entering any trade. I got 5 tips that made me profitable. I got another trade breakdown, a 200 pip move, another trade breakdown, 150 pip move. Got multiple videos on prop firms. Another one, use a strategy to catch 100 pips daily. Again, this is not clickbait. This is actual legit way to catch 100 pips daily on gold, right? Obviously, market conditions come into play, but watch that video, especially if I like trading gold. I got 5 things I started to do that made me profitable. I got another trade breakdown, 2,300 pip move. All right, another trade breakdown. Actually, no. Use the support resistance strategies. It is a trade breakdown, but it also breaks down how to use support resistance. Again, 8 minutes long, 300 pip move on oil that day. Another trade breakdown on gold, 5,000 pip move. Another trade breakdown, US30, 50,000 pip move. how to properly backtest, 5-minute video. Another trade breakdown, 4,400 pip move. 5 tools you need on TradingView. Another trade breakdown, 270 pip move. And again, these are not just me, oh, look, I made X amount of dollars. It's me actually breaking down step by step the trade itself, what I looked for, and all that stuff. All right. Another trade. This is a trade I took on a news event. Live NFP trading, gold, caught 1,800 pips or 180 points. Right. This video, best way to grow your account. Literally, I show you a screenshot. This is not clickbait. I doubled my account in 2 weeks without over leveraging, and I explained how to do it in less than 7 minutes. Right? Another trade breakdown, 100 pip move. Another trade breakdown, 144 pip move. Another trade breakdown, 50 pip move. This is me passing a 50,000 funded account. I break down my strategy, how to become a full-time trader, how to count pips. Another 5,000 pip move. No, 10,000 pip move. Another video of me turning, making 50% in one day. Forex tips for beginners. Another 40,000 trade breakdown. Another support resistance strategy. A video on how to read candlesticks. Another gold strategy. US30, how to identify the trend. Trading plan strategy. This is a trading plan that I use to this day. Another 10,000 pip SPX move. Trade breakdowns or trade breakdowns, right? And this is just trade breakdowns. Then we go live. I literally have hours of content. I go live every day. I've been doing this since November last year or December. So it's literally hours of content of me looking at charts, explaining how I'm looking at the charts, entering trades live, breaking down why we're entering the trades, all that stuff. Literally hours of content. Hours of content right here in your face. Now again, hours of content. That's one thing. Cool. Hit that first link in the description. We go to the free Telegram. Actually, before we go to the free Telegram, we go to the advanced play signal room. Right? Let me pull this up. In the advanced play signal room, I got over 168 photos and over 300 videos. Every day I drop a watch list. Every Sunday I drop a updated chart price watch list every day. Then we go live multiple times, like at least 2 times a week on average during New York. We break down stuff, and we also go live during the news events, right? Literally hours of content. And then all these recorded, and then we have old Zoom calls where I break down a bunch of stuff live. So it's literally hours of content. Listen, you're just looking at free content to learn. We just went over my YouTube channel. We just went through all the videos on my YouTube channel. Now we go to the free Telegram. Literally, I'm just going to scroll to a random day. We're just going to scroll. Just going to scroll. Scroll. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. All right, I guess it's going to let me scroll all the way to December here. All right, so this is as far as I can scroll right now. So this is December of last year. All right, so let's just see how we did here. I scroll all the way to the top as far as it would let me. Let's see if it'll let me go any farther. Nope, that's the cap. Oh, there it goes. It's not even go farther now. So we're all the way in October of last year. Let's keep scrolling. Now we're a year, because we're in March right now. April. No, we're in May right now. So this is September of last year. Let's see if it'll let us go any farther. All right, that's good enough. So we're in September of last year. So off rip, you already see getting hit. Let's just scroll. All right, went 6-0 this day. Let's keep scrolling. You see TP's getting hit. All right, caught 53,000 pips this week. This is last year. So again, you go to the free Telegram, first link in the description. You're going to see over a year worth of receipts of us being positive weekly, monthly, if not every day. Over a year worth of receipts. So you got that, and then you got a bunch of free content on YouTube. So just take whatever time you can. Again, go on your notes tab, pull out a piece of paper, write down Sunday through Saturday, write down the times you're at work and the time that you're asleep. If you're not at work, if you're not asleep, if you're not, walking the dog, you're not taking care of your children, any of that time where you're not working, taking care of the children with family or sleep, you have time to put towards this. All right. But again, it's up to you, but the resources are there. All right. Got plenty of trade breakdowns, got plenty of trading psychology videos, trading tip videos. All right. So you just got to take the time to look into that. So, and again, all this stuff is step by step. Very transparent, not hiding any information. People ask me about these levels. I have videos breaking down those levels. I just showed y'all like 3 different videos. Let me talk about support resistance. These are support resistance levels. Then there's literally tons of trade breakdown videos, trade psychology videos. I showed y'all videos on how to grow your accounts, prop firm challenge videos, all that stuff. So the resources on this channel alone can help speed up that process. Again, you don't want to rush, but it's not going to take years. All right. It only will take that long if you're learning on your own and going through a bunch of trial and error. But if you have somebody that can help you out, that learning curve and the amount it would take to learn will shorten. All right. So explore this channel and, take what you want from the videos, from the content. You know what I'm saying? And practice, practice, practice. And demo accounts are your friend. All right. I'm a strong, firm believer in practicing in demo accounts. I know a lot of people don't like demo accounts, so I'm a firm believer in demo accounts. All right, but my alarm did just go off. Oh, there it goes again. So yeah, my alarm just went off. So I got some stuff to do. We're gonna be back at it tomorrow, same time. Members, like I said, we're gonna be going live. We're gonna be going live. What time is the news? We're gonna be going live. News at 8:30. So we're gonna be going live right before the news. I'm gonna send that link out. You already know. If y'all want to contact me directly, let me make sure it's on the screen. Y'all can hit me up on Instagram. You see it at the bottom of your screen at playmaker_way. Make sure to follow me on both that and TikTok. Playmaker Way is the TikTok. Playmaker_way is the Instagram. I respond to all messages and DMs. I'm actually about to respond to some right now before I get to work. You can also contact me on Telegram. Again, you don't have to be a member to hit me up. I respond to all messages. I answer all questions. So it can be about advanced play signal room. It can be about trading in general. You just want to say what's up. You can do that as well. But don't be shy. We'll be back at it tomorrow. Like I said, I want to see volume pick up at New York, if not after this news, because we're just extremely choppy and we need to get out of these levels of price that we're stuck at, that we've really been stuck at since yesterday. And I think we can do that today, later on in New York, but we're going to see.